You know I talk about it a lot, but I mean, the fact is that this neighborhood really is one of the most sought out and desirable neighborhoods in all of Central Oregon. I mean, this place has it all. Amazing homes, fantastic parks, trails, shopping, restaurants, schools. I mean, if there was ever a place that was the perfect home base for being able to access all that Central Oregon has to offer, this would be it. So I mentioned a bunch of amenities a few seconds ago that aren't really normal for kind of a standard neighborhood. I mean, yes, I do believe that every neighborhood should have its own wine bar, but it's not always how it goes, right? I guess my point is that this is a master planned community that's kind of got a little bit of everything. It's basically its own town, and you don't really even need to leave. It just had a Costco. Located on the northwest side of Bend and developed by Brooks Resources, this 450-acre development began construction back in the year 2000 and includes nearly 1,200 finished lots. Now, I said master plan, so let's quickly talk about all the different housing types that there are offered here. There are townhouses, there are condos, there are apartments, there are cottages, there are front-loaded homes, there are alley-loaded homes. Now, none of the properties come on huge expansive lots or acreages. However, the lot sizes do vary greatly, but basically from about a half acre down to almost no yard whatsoever. And truthfully, most of the homes here are on pretty small lots. Now, for just a second, while we're working our way over to check out the rest of the neighborhood amenities, let's talk about all of the amazing architectural styles in here and why they are so impressive. You see, to build in Northwest Crossing, you had to be a part of the Builders Guild. If you're not in the guild, you can't build. The way this worked is basically the developer collected a 20 or 30, so I think there was 30 in this neighborhood-ish builders, and they were kind of in this club. What they did is they would release phases of the neighborhood at a time. All the builders would buy up the lots, and then they would all kind of develop and sell their own houses to the public. What's really great about this is that it offers the neighborhood a super unique and diverse array of different homes, different builders, and it really led to a very spectacular looking neighborhood. In fact, this development idea gained national recognition, and it's actually exactly what they're doing over in Discovery West as well. So this is not a homogenized neighborhood where one builder or two builders have built the whole thing. This is built by different builders, as I just explained. The other part of what makes it so amazing is the ARC, the Architectural Review Committee. They're the ones that have put kind of in place all of the rules that make sure that all these homes look as stunning as they do. Home styles such as, well, let's face it, back in 2000, Craftsman was really popular. In the very beginning of this neighborhood, there were a lot of homes that were kind of Craftsman style homes. But more recently, we now have a huge variety of homes, including farmhouse and modern farmhouse and prairie style homes. We've got contemporary and of course mid-century modern. All these homes in here are very unique and really stunning to look at. A couple other things you need to know about the neighborhood. One, there isn't an HOA. I know, I don't really understand it either at first. But there isn't an HOA, it's an Architectural Review Committee. They're kind of the ones that really control how the neighborhood looks. But aside from that, the rest of how great the neighborhood looks is just people that take pride in their neighborhood. Next, there's a bunch of history here. And I'm not talking about specific Bend history, but when the developers originally developed Northwest Crossing, they wanted to have some sort of theme. And so they actually chose the Lewis and Clark Expedition. That's where our history comes from. And as you know, the Lewis and Clark Expedition was the crossing of the Northwest. And this is Northwest Crossing, so here we are. So many of the roads that run through Northwest Crossing are based upon people, places, and things that were really important to the expedition. Celilo Falls, Lolo Trail, Lemhi Pass, people such as John Coulter, Pierre Dorian, and Sacagawea even has a road named after her. Now that we've shed some light on the theme and a little bit about all the amazing houses, let's talk about how great it is to live in a community where you almost don't have to leave. Everything you need is right here at your fingertips. Shopping. I mean, it's not like you can walk down Northwest Crossing Drive and pick out a complete ensemble for the concert happening later that night. but there is a rather nice variety of different things here. There's a bookstore, a bike shop, home decor, there's an art and framing store, there's an art gallery, there's a small market that has essential provisions like milk and bread and eggs. Even professional services like attorneys and financial advisors, dentists, pediatric medical, tutoring services, it's all here. And then we have dining and food options. Oh boy. Sparrow Bakery, we've got poke bowls, burger joints, Thai food, Mexican, high-end places like the Washington, and our newest steakhouse, Rancher Butcher Chef. I'm going there on Saturday. And if you just gotta have more options than that, or you're looking for a more social experience, The Grove is our newest mess hall, located right at the roundabout of Northwest Crossing Drive and Mount Washington. The Grove features a great assortment of all kinds of different dining options for different times of day. I mean, you can get there in the morning and you could have smoothies, or they've got a really great coffee shop there. Lunch and dinner option, they've got great restaurants that feature lunch and dinner options. And then even later on in the evening, there's an ice cream parlor and, you know, a local high-end watering hole. Oh, don't worry, it's not an ice cream bar. No, an ice cream place and a bar. There's two different places. Parks. If you are unfamiliar with Bend, know this. There is no shortage of parks in the city. In fact, at first glance, I think there's around 65, maybe as many as 80 parks in the city limits of Bend alone. Now here in Northwest Crossing, we have 4 parks to ourselves and a trail system that, when fully completed, will lead all the way out to the Deschutes National Forest. Compass Park is the original gangster and the most renowned park in Northwest Crossing. Its name comes from the design that the neighborhood was inspired from. It is the center of the neighborhood, and the streets and the homes that branch from it branch out like a compass. Lewis and Clark Park is located on the north side of the neighborhood and heavily shaded by a lot of old growth pondos. It's a forested part of the neighborhood. It's very cool. Rimrock Park isn't really a park in the sense that you would think. It's actually more of a natural area. Lots of rock outcroppings, there's some trails that go through there. It's really popular with like trail runners and just casual walkers alike. In fact, a better name for it would be Sunset Park, because it is stunning at sunset. And then finally, the crown jewel of the neighborhood is Discovery Park. It's the newest park, not super new now, but it is a large park, acres of green grass. It's got this large, beautiful pond behind us. I mean, it's got a dog park at that end, a community garden, a pavilion for hosting, you know, small gatherings or events if you needed to. It's really got it going on. Not only that, but there's a trail system here that leads to the rest of the trail systems that'll take you all the way out. It's right at the doorstep and actually connects Northwest Crossing with Discovery West. And the best part about all of these parks is that they are managed by Bend Parks and Rec, so they are always in pristine shape. Schools. Now, no self-respecting master plan neighborhood will be complete without its own school, right? But 4? You've got to be kidding me. In Northwest Crossing, there are 4 schools on site. 2 elementary, 1 middle school, and 1 high school. High Lakes, which is located just to the north of Compass Park, then Miller Elementary, Cascade Middle, and Summit High are all located next to each other and to the west of Mount Washington Drive. Not to mention that Summit High, full disclosure, I'm kind of a sports guy, has one of the best overall athletic programs in the state, winning state titles in soccer, tennis, skiing, track and field, volleyball, water polo, golf, football, all since 2015. I mean, I've lived close to schools before, but to think that a kid might not ever even have to leave the neighborhood through their entire school career, it's kind of crazy. They never even have to ride the bus. If you think that this might sound like something for you, maybe not necessarily here, but just Bend or heck, even Central Oregon at all, then you should really consider subscribing to the channel. We put out videos every single week talking about current events, recreation, and of course, real estate. So smash the like button, subscribe, do all the things that you need to do, leave us a comment down below. And again, if you are ever thinking about buying or selling real estate in the area, my team and I would love to be your resource of choice. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next week. Located on the northwest side of Bend and developed by Brooks Resources, this we got the pond. We got the pond.